What's up, team? Staff video update time. I think the viewership's going to go up on this one a little bit, but it is good to be back here, face to face with my family, some of our team. I wish I was face to face with you, but wow, what a time to be a lead pastor. It's crazy. It was 5 years ago, I think next week, when I was officially asked. If you heard the message last weekend, it was last Friday when Lee called me and told me that he had Parkinson's. So there's something about March where I'm noticing a trend. But I was talking with some pastor friends, and the reality is there is no playbook on how to navigate this. I think that's why you see our country trying to sort through it one step at a time. And that's why, for a lot of us, we don't have like models to respond to. We have what's happened, what's happening, and then that's why the word that I've been using is it's unsettling. It feels like we don't know where to get firm footing. So if you're feeling that, it's valid, and you don't need to beat yourself up for it. We don't need to try to tell people, well, just we're too blessed to be stressed, or any of those things. The truth is, it's okay to say I don't feel okay, without letting that feeling win. And so as a leadership team, we're trying to find ways to make the best decisions possible for our church. First, let me say it this way, filled with faith that God can do immeasurably more than we could ever ask, and yet sober-minded enough that we know that maybe there's something bigger going on in the midst of some of this disruption than we're fully understanding at the front end of this. And so I think now is our time to stay focused on our purpose, to keep connecting with people, to leverage our gifts, to pray for each other, to encourage those who are a part of our church. And simple ways that you can do that is join me for prayer every morning at 7:30, or share the prayer focus of the day. Get on and comment. If other people ask for prayer, say a prayer for them. Our team is dreaming up some new ways to connect digitally. Throughout the week, we are already employing ways to stream other services for people online throughout the week. But this is an awesome time for us to lean into that season, and to call and email and connect with people on social to stay connected. I think some people are craving it because they need a disruption. I mean, if you're, helping people connect in that way will be great. So more to come on that. But I want to take a minute and just give an update on where we're at as a church. Some of you have heard these things already. So I just want to kind of walk through what we've decided as an executive team because we're no longer meeting physically. Now, we have a lot to celebrate there. I'll get to that in just a minute. But we are on a hiring freeze. So that means the open positions are going to remain open. Not open, but we're not going to fill those. We're not going to keep pursuing people for those positions for now. I think that's a easy decision to make. Why? Because we're not having physical services. Number two, we're going to eliminate as much spending as we can. So any spending, discretionary spending in our budget, we're going to try to get our buildings down to an efficiency standard. We're working through some of that stuff. Anything that we can postpone, trips that we were planning, we're canceling in this season. So we're going to try to pare back all of that spending so that we have as much flexibility as possible. The third thing that we're going to do, which isn't fun, but I think it is helpful in the short term, is we are going to pause all retirement matching. So that's, I think, an easy way for us to recoup some savings or hold on to some savings in this season without it personally impacting pocketbooks, like your pocketbooks and mine. Obviously, it impacts our future. I know those of you that are into retirement, you see those dollars and those matter, especially in these years. But I think we've done this before. Like, I've lived through a few seasons of suspending retirement for other reasons, like we didn't have margin in our budget or giving wasn't coming in the way that we expected. And so this was a relatively, I wouldn't say easy play, but simple decision for now. And so that means you've got some decisions to make. You can keep investing in your retirement. You could save those funds and put them into your personal cash account. You get to decide what you want to do with those. You could hold on to them if you needed them. And then if you don't need them, you could in turn, after everything starts to come back, you could reinvest them into your retirement account. You make those decisions. You talk through those. But that's where we're at today. And I think as an executive team, we are talking through the what ifs. I don't need all of you to carry them today. I want you to stay focused on our mission. I know there are a lot of what ifs, like what about jobs and, my future and pay and, if you could let the what ifs kind of stay with the executive team for now. I know it's going to be hard. If I were you, I would be thinking about some of them too. But fortunately, today we are in a position where we don't have to make any more critical decisions at this moment. Now, people were generous last weekend. Yes, we were below budget, but we don't know where all of this is going to settle out. We'll know more in the next few weeks, but today, leave the what ifs with us and we'll keep you informed every step of the way. Our hope, along with what they're doing in the great state of Ohio, I don't know about you, I've been blown away by the way Governor DeWine is handling this. Their intent is to not just, they're trying to flatten and extend the curve, but some of these measures that they're taking could really be beneficial for us because of the way in which they're doing them. And because so many of you have leaned onto the digital and we've been equipped with teamwork and Slack. I mean, think about all of the things God has been installing all along the way. The camera upgrades, me preaching to an empty room for however many years. I mean, all of this is almost second nature, not empty room on the weekends. I know some of you snickered at that, but like practicing in the middle of the week, right? So all of these things, I think God has been preparing us a bit to ride this moment and to continue to be the church with joy and hope in our heart and compassion for our friends and our family members and even ourselves when we're feeling a little uncertain. So let's keep praying together. I'm not trying to paint a rosy picture that everything is a-okay. This is serious. Some of the projections is that 1 to 2 million Americans might lose their lives, depending on how all of us respond. And so this is serious, but we don't need to live in fear. We just need to take one day at a time. The phrase is we need to have trust for today. So every day, yes, we can think about a little bit of the what ifs, but today, what can I do to live on purpose today, to live from God's peace today? And I think if we do that together, if we show our community that together, if we look for opportunities to care for each other together, at the end of this, we'll look back and we'll go, wow, look at what God has done in us. Look at what God has done through us. And who knows, he might even be positioning us for a new way to be the church in the future. And so I believe that the best is yet to come, but I also believe we're in the middle of a storm and the wind and the waves are real and we're going to take them one step at a time. And I could not be more honored and more humbled than to be on this journey with you. And so I appreciate you. Let's stay focused on our mission. Let's keep encouraging and praying for each other, and I'll keep you updated as we go along. Thanks.